Hello and welcome back to another episode of Maple Leaf Reviews. I am Jacob.
And I am Jeffrey.
And today we are doing a top 25 list. Today is my 21 through 25. Jeffrey is just a little co-host here who's going to give me insignificant feedback on my list.
I think it's going to be quite valuable feedback. I think after I give my feedback, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board
and redo my list.
And redo your list.
One thing we want to mention before we get started here, we did do an intro video of how we picked our top 25 lists. We're doing a bit of a game here as well where we're trying to guess. If you want information on that, you can go watch that video.
Yeah.
We urge you to go watch that video before you check out our list. But without further ado, should I just jump into it?
Jump into your 25.
Okay, so my number 25 is a cooperative game.
No way.
It is a game that I have played 26 times.
Okay.
And it is kind of a Star Trek themed game.
Star Trek?
Yes. Star Trek-esque. It's not actually, it doesn't have the IP. But this game is Damage Report. So Damage Report is, as I said, a cooperative game. You're traveling through space. Your ship is exploding. And you need to run around. You need to gather materials to go fix the different rooms, the different machinery on your ship. You have your life support system that's failing. And as that fails, you get slower as you're moving around the ship. Shields are failing. If those ever go offline, and damage reports happen, you take hull damage, which can destroy your ship entirely. So you need to make sure that's not happening. Sometimes you need to get your hyperdrive online so you can jump away, and that's the win condition. There's all sorts of modules that you throw together, and you're just running around chaotically. It's real time. You have these sand timers, and every 15 seconds you take an action. If life support is kind of failing, then it might be a 30-second before you take an action, or 45 seconds, or a minute.
Yeah.
Which, if you get to that point, it's basically game over. You're not coming back from that.
It's game over, man.
Because every 3 minutes, there's a little timer, and every 3 minutes, you're flipping over a damage report. And that gives you all these systems that get impacted a different amount. It could be 50% damage to that system. It could be a little ding to the system, whatever. Hallways can explode and be exposed to space, and you need to try and get through there. So you have to get in a hazmat suit to go out there, or a space suit, I should say, to make repairs. Chaotic fun. Every time I bring this game to the table, I have a blast. It has never let me down.
Oh, that's good.
That being said, it is a bit of a problematic game in that it only comes with five scenarios in the box. And those scenarios are, one of them is 2 to 3 player, another one is only 5 to 6 player. So if you're always playing with 4 people, there's only 3 scenarios that you can possibly play out of the box.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is replayability, because as you lose, you can just be like, oh yeah, let's try again. There's different modules you can add in to increase difficulty or decrease difficulty. But the fact that you're only getting 3 possible scenarios, or 5 if you're playing with all player ranges, that's problematic. The company that produces it hasn't given out any extra content for the game. They're not really supporting it, going, oh, here's scenarios.
Yeah.
I personally have gone onto Board Game Geek. I've created 6 different scenarios, and those are public domain. You can just go into Board Game Geek, find those scenarios, and play them.
Well, it seems like it's an easy game to do that, because you don't need to give them any extra components. You can just put the game together in different ways with different objectives.
Yeah, different setup with all the different modules.
Yeah. I played this game a few times, like three or four times.
I think 3 or 4 times, yeah.
And I mean, it's an okay game. It's just not my particular cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
Not really big into the real-time type games.
Yeah.
Or cooperative games.
Or cooperative games, yeah, for sure.
But even that, I still did have fun the few times I played it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably its biggest detriment, is if you don't like chaotic games, if you're a Euro gamer and you like strategy and tactician, you may not like this game. You're probably not going to like it, just because it's so wild.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But yeah, that's my number 25 damage report.
I had it on the list,
Okay.
but I had it as number 20, so I don't
Okay.
give it on 20.
Yes. Okay, moving on to my number 24. This is a game I've played 10 times.
Okay.
And it is kind of a Civ builder to a degree. And it's, I don't even know what to call it. You're evolving your civilization on a flowchart.
An Excel sheet.
On an Excel sheet. There you go, yeah. So this game is Historia. Is my number 24. And so everyone starts off all at the same, the same starting point.
Yeah.
And then you're in different parts of the world. As you are close to your neighbors, you can kind of feed off of them, learn from their technology. You can build up military, and you can go and attack them and conquer their land. There's a very difficult AI that you can battle against.
Oh, yeah.
If you're playing the AI on the hardest difficulty, and the AI is great because it's very simplistic.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it. You're just flipping a couple cards.
Yeah.
And if you're playing the AI on the hardest level, it just punches you in the face repeatedly. And you need to clear him out of the game, because there is player elimination with the AI, not with actual other players. You can't eliminate other players out of the game. But if you don't kill that AI, the king level AI right off the bat, he's just going to crush you.
Yeah.
But it's such an interesting game because you want to stay close to people so you can feed off of them and learn from them.
Especially with the science.
Yeah.
Like trading to get higher in science. You're like, if you're off on your own,
yeah, you're done.
You're done. You need to feed off of each other.
Exactly.
And to time it well.
But then if you're close enough and they're just soaring ahead of you with military strength, then they're just going to come in and conquer you and take you out.
Yeah.
Which, you don't want that. So it's kind of like this back and forth game. Along with science, you get to play a certain number of cards every turn. At the beginning of the game, you only get to play one card. And then as you increase your science, you get to play 2 at a time. Yeah. And then as you increase it more, you can play 3 at a time. And if someone gets to that 2 range and you're still in the 1, they're doing twice as much as you every action.
And they're going to trigger the end of the round.
Yeah.
Before
faster, yeah.
Yeah, I think I really like this game. I think it just suffers from looking like an Excel sheet.
Yes. Its graphic design is functional. The artwork is kind of an eyesore.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that great.
But I think there's really
the game there is very interesting.
It is. But the only negative I would say about the game is that it doesn't have a catch-up mechanic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's a runaway leader problem.
Yeah,
with the game.
once you need to stay toe-to-toe with people. So if you have playing with people who are very similar in skill level, you're gonna have a really great game.
Yeah.
But if you play against, like you're playing a 2-player and one person just gets out ahead of the other, well then it's just, I can't catch up, and you're just gonna win the game.
Yeah.
And you know that early on when they start pulling ahead.
Yeah, I would say on average the winner of the game gets probably around 130 points, and the person in last place normally has about 50 to 60.
Yeah.
So they pretty much double your score, and there's just like once you fall behind, you can't really do much.
Yeah, I think if this game,
it's such a struggle.
If this game had a clever catch-up mechanic, I think it would be even higher for me.
Yeah, but that's my number 24, Historia.
Cool. I had that on the list, but
it was higher up.
No, it was 16. Yeah.
Okay.
Only
lower,
1 point.
Higher, low. I always get mixed up with the higher, lower.
It doesn't matter.
Moving on to my number 23. 23 is a game you'll just know by the number of plays probably. I've played this game 86 times.
Yeah, I think I know it.
Pandemic, but not Legacy. I'm not a fan of Pandemic Legacy. I didn't like that game too much. I found it very predictable. The story element was okay, but nothing special. And Pandemic Legacy took everything that I liked in the Pandemic expansions out of the game. So I was just like, I don't want to play this.
Yeah.
But regular Pandemic with In the Lab expansion is something that I absolutely love. And it's number 23. I mean, I think everyone knows about Pandemic at this point.
Pretty much.
For the most part, diseases are exploding all over the world, and it's a cooperative game. You're running around trying to squash them, find the cure.
Yeah.
It can be difficult with the expansions. I guess with the core game, it can be difficult as well. And it's a puzzle that you're trying to solve.
Yeah. My favorite way to play is on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
I want to lose this game.
Yeah. I like this game most when I lose. Yeah. Just barely lose.
Yeah.
If I lose and we could have won the next turn,
yeah,
that's like my favorite scenario. I'm just like, oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
I think we almost beat the hardest difficulty. Like we came so close once.
Yeah.
And that was my best experience playing Pandemic. Was like, oh, we could have won. I hate it when it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna win in 3 turns.
Right.
And there's nothing that the game can do to stop us. We've won in 3 turns, and you're just like, okay, oh yeah, we won.
Or do we even want to play it out?
Yeah.
Kind of scenario. It's just like, yeah, we got this.
Yeah.
Nothing it could do. But yeah, that's so Pandemic is my number 23. I have played it a lot, but with playing it so much, it's something that I don't want to bring to the table that often.
Yeah.
But it is a great game that I still enjoy. When I do bring it out, I have fun playing it.
Yeah. I did have this on the list. I thought it was going to be much higher.
Okay.
Because of how much you played it. I had it in your top 10.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But apparently I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, you're still beating me in points at this. Yeah. You've got 3 out of 10 possible points at this point. My number 22 is a game I've only played 4 times.
Okay.
It's a game that we haven't played all that much. It's something I don't own. It's something you own.
Really?
It's a bit of a lighter game as well, with a Carcassonne feel.
Oh, really?
So Isle of Skye is my number 22. This is a tile placement. You're building up kind of an empire, a little village.
Yeah.
Every turn you get 3 tiles, and you need to set values for those tiles, and people can buy them from you for those set values. If they don't buy them, you have to pay whatever your set value was.
Yeah.
So it's this struggle of how much if I really want this tile, I need to put it at a value that I'm willing to pay, but no one else is willing to pay.
And even if someone does buy it, the cool thing about that is you get all that money.
Exactly.
You get your money back plus that same amount of money from them.
Exactly.
So if you make a tile worth like 25 coins near the end of the game, well,
if they buy it, you have 50 coins.
Yeah, so it's a win, sometimes a win-win for you. You're either getting lots of money or you're getting the tile that you really wanted.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's just this struggle of trying to pick the value of these tiles and then building this Carcassonne style map where everything's connected and you're getting points based off of what you have in your village or empire.
Yeah.
The point system in the game changes every single game.
Yeah.
It has this very interesting scoring mechanic where round 1 you're scoring this certain tile, round 2 it's a different tile, round 3 it's like the first tile and the third tile. It's this row of tiles and you're scoring them in different combinations in different increments.
And the tiles are different
yeah, and there's like
game.
20, 30 different scoring tiles and you're only using 5 every game. So the combinations that are going to come out it's going to be different every game.
Yeah.
So the variability of that and the interesting challenge of pricing these things and building your empire, I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's a great game.
If I was given the choice between Carcassonne and Isle of Skye, I would pick Isle of Skye every time.
Every time.
Yeah, no question
at
all.
Yeah.
It's a great game. I did not have it on my list for you. I thought about it because I knew you really liked it, but I was like, I don't know if he's played it enough to put it on his 25.
Yeah, it squeaked in there. It squeaked in. So moving on to my number 21. This is a game that I've only played 3 times. This is the one game I've played the least of on my list. So with 3 plays, I really enjoy this game. We often refer to it as every time we play this game, we're peeling back a layer like an onion and finding out more information. and more depth and strategy, and that's Nepal by What's Your Game.
Yeah.
And this game, you are building factories. So there's 6 different factories that you can possibly build, and then there's several regions across this map, and you're producing different content and trying to produce them in the different areas to gain a area control over these different zones. There's so much happening in this game, and there's a really interesting worker mechanic.
It's not worker placement, it's a worker taker.
Yeah, worker
tastement.
Yeah, worker displacement almost.
Yeah.
And as you're taking these workers, they're all different colors, but you want to collect all of the same color, because at the end of a phase, I don't even know what to call it.
When you consolidate your power, you have to pay 3,000 yen for each different color.
For every different color of worker that you pulled off. So if you have 5 different colors, that's going to cost you 15,000 yen. Where if you pulled off all the same color, then you're only paying 3,000.
Yeah, it's a game where you need to be efficient.
Yeah,
like
money's tight in the game.
Money is tight. Well, and it's very interesting because the different actions that you can take give you different levels. So you can, like, if you're building trains,
right, you
can spend 5,000, 10,000, or 15,000 to put it 1, 2, or 3 trains.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, you can take the action with 5,000 yen, but you want to be taking with 15 because that gives you 3 times as much. Bang for your buck.
Exactly, yeah. And you want to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, when you consolidate, depending on how far along this consolidation track, you're pulling off these multipliers, which multiply your end game scoring conditions, which you choose.
Yeah, you build
So you have like 10 possible end game scoring things. You choose which one of those you want to score the most for, and you have times 2 to times 5 multipliers that you're putting down. So you're kind of choosing how you score as you progress through the game, which is, oh man, there's so many things going on in this game.
I know.
I love it.
And every time I play, I feel like I do a little better.
Right.
I get a little bit more of a grasp on how to do well, and so it's just like I feel like I'm getting better at this game.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my number 21, Nepal.
That's a good choice. Yeah. I had it on your list, but I had it as 16.
Okay, right.
So not bad.
Well, you did a lot better than me in the first round here.
Why if they watched your video first?
Yeah, yeah. So if you're watching these out of order, the points might seem weird to you, but yeah. So you have 4 points, and I currently have 2.
Yeah.
As we enter into the 16 to 20.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Moving on. Thanks for watching, guys.
See you guys in a bit.